え、お、九条さんじゃん。朝からついてんな。
Yo, 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 it's your man MAS. I'm back with more anime content. Alright, this time around, talking about Alya hides her feelings in Russian. Alright, definitely watching this show is definitely very refreshing. If you know me personally, I'm a huge fan of rom-coms, romance, not so much Harlem. Harlem kind of feels more like what, one guy, 10 girls. I feel like there's not that much creativity in that, but this show was refreshing. So if you clicked on the video, the title, How Not to Pick Up a Waifu. All right, so, and this is judging episodes 1, 2, 3. Again, if you know my content, we don't read over here. All right, so if you're talking about, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, the light novels, the mangas, like we don't read over here. All right, we do, but when it comes to we're talking strictly the anime, nothing else. All right, I'm going into this blind, and this is coming from somebody who watched a lot of anime. I'm going into this blind, so here we're at. So episodes 1 through 3, it definitely gave me a Tenchi Muyo vibe. So I'm showing my age, but if those hardcore anime fans, if at least like the oldies, Tenchi Muyo was essentially Kazu, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name right, Kuze Kazu. And I feel like that's the trope in most anime, where it's like, all right, the one guy gets a bunch of girls, right? I feel like what I've seen so far, it doesn't feel any different from here. The only difference is, I feel like when I watch these shows now, it's giving people the wrong impression, all right? It's giving men the wrong impression, all right? If you really want to get a waifu, right? If your goal is to get a waifu, if you watch this anime, right, episodes 1, 2, 3, that's not how it really works, right? You can't be an underachiever like Kazu and pick up a hottie like Alya. Like you can't do it, right? It's only in anime. Only in anime do you get that fan, especially like rom-coms, right? But you kind of see it in some modern TV. Like only in these shows can you be an underachiever, a shut-in, not do anything for yourself, sleep in class, wink wink, and still get a hottie. Like it doesn't work like that. So I mean, listen to me, listen to your boy MAS, all right? If you're trying to get a waifu, do not watch these episodes like the Bible. Like damn, I need to be like, you telling me that I could sleep in class, be an underachiever and get hot girls? Like here's the thing, maybe to more older people watching, like we know better, but I feel like for younger people who are influenced, like same thing, like you see YouTube videos, they see it, it's like, oh, this is the law. This is how it has to be. And that's just not the case, man. And the thing about it is that they touch on that episodes 1 through 3, where Kazu isn't a complete underachiever. He is able to get things done. And that's what women find attractive, all right? Not the laziness. I'm sorry, do not take the episodes literally. Like if you're watching and you're motivated and it's like, oh wow, he's doing it, so I can do it. No, no, all right? He knows a little Russian. I mean, he's not a complete bum, right? He knows a little Russian. He knows how to get things done when it needs to happen. Those are the traits that women like. That is how you're going to attract a waifu, right? If you want to get a Russian hottie like Alya, that is how you get her. Not the other aspects, not being free to play, not gacha games. Like you're not gonna get, I'm telling you, you're not gonna get a hottie that way. Maybe you might get like a niche. So there are some people, not just women, but there are some people that like, oh, maybe you guys have similar interests. So you like gacha games, right? But maybe the girl likes gacha games. That's what I'm saying. It's a niche. The wide majority of women aren't going to be playing gacha games. So don't bank on watching this show and thinking, there's hope. That's my reality. So if he can do it, I can do it. No. All right. But I mean, overall, like episodes 1 through 3, it's kind of going, I won't say how I expected, but definitely I love the twist with the Russian, right? Makes me want to learn Russian now, or learn more about the culture. Pretty much the same typical anime tropes except for it's like the reverse. So if you've watched enough Harlem, all the girls secretly like this one guy. I personally like the formula of guy likes girl. I feel like that's more entertaining because that's more realistic to me. I feel like a lot of women aren't chasing guys like that, at least in the traditional sense. Most times it's the guys chasing the women, but you know, they're not the ones mainly because women is anime, so it's mainly the guys, right? So, and that's the fantasy. So the guy's underachiever, the guy isn't really interested in any of these women. Kazu, like, he may be interested, but he's not bent out of shape. He's not, you know, palms sweaty, like knees buckling, like he's not like that. He's not pressed, right? He's probably not pressed because he knows she likes her back, because she hides her actual feelings in Russian, which is probably like a reflex, you know, where it's like maybe you mumble something under your breath. That's how it is with her. When she feels some type of way, like, you know, I was gonna say unintentionally, she talks in Russian. Little does he know, or little does she know that he can understand Russian. But for some reason, he's not gonna tell her, I guess she's gonna be embarrassed, whatever. But that's the catch. If there was like a pool for a show, that's the pool. He's reeling it in. Like, hey, she's the typical anime woman trope, but she speaks Russian and she's really, really honest when she's speaking Russian, thinking that he doesn't understand, thinking that he's a fool. Little does she know, ha ha ha, she's a fool. But yeah, and you know, he's not pressed. His sister, who's the vice president or something like that, like, you know, but his friends are flying over him. Like, pretty much like the women are all over him, right? I don't think that's anything new. The one thing I think it is new, which is very interesting to me, is, and this actually brings up an interesting topic, right? So the reason why he learned Russian to begin with, like learned the language, was because of his childhood crush, right? And who taught him a little bit Russian, but that's what motivated him to really learn Russian, hoping that he meet her one day. I thought that was fire. I love setups like that, you know, because when you actually meet the crush, that's a different story. So I think that's her. And I mean, where, you know, that whole saying like that I'm him, that's her. Alya's friend. I think that's his childhood friend. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's her. And I said it, and I was like, this brings up a really interesting topic. If you're talking to a girl that you're interested in right now, but let's say your childhood crush comes back in the picture and she actually likes you back. What happens? Do you dump the girl that you're with? Or do you connect with the girl that already has like a deep bond with you? Like, she knows things about you. I would argue the latter. In reality, I feel like you're most likely gonna bond with the person that already has a lot to do with you. Like, she already knows a lot about you, and you guys already had that history. You had a crush on her, she had a crush on you. So unless you really like the girl you're with now, in reality, like, you probably give the girl that has history with you a better chance. But I feel like in most shows, especially like this one Korean drama, Startup, like it frustrated me so hard. I'm like, I don't think it works quite like that. Like, yes, you can meet somebody new and develop a bond with them as like, yeah, like I really like this person, but I feel like not a lot of things trump history. There's like not a lot of things trump like inheritance. Like, yo, like if your father's rich, there's very high likely that like you're gonna inherit some of that, right? You might not get anything, but the likelihood isn't, like, it's just by default. So like if somebody liked you and you know you have history with them, and they told you finally, like maybe years later, that they like you back, unless like you're in something super committed, reality is like you could give that person a chance because like, yo, like you guys just know so much about each other and a deeper connection. That's why in reality, Kazu's childhood friend should have it over Alya. But the way the show is, Alya's the main character. I'm pretty sure she's gonna win his heart. Unfortunately, realistically, I don't think that's how it should work. But unfortunately, I feel like that's how it's gonna happen. But I feel like that creates a really interesting dynamic, and I would love to hear from you guys, right? Do you give the girl you're talking to in the moment the benefit of the doubt, like, nah, I'm gonna be with her, or somebody that was in your life that you had a crush on that later down tells you she has a crush on you? Do you kind of commit to that instead? Like, let me know. I feel like realistically it's the latter, but you know what I mean? Like, apparently people meeting new people all the time, and it happens. But the one thing I want you guys to take away from this video, right? This is just the anime. Do not follow the things that Kazuo is doing as law, right? It is not law. You cannot get a waifu the way that he is doing. I am telling you, you're going to disappoint yourself. And it's reality. There is reality, all right? And the traits that it takes to get a waifu, because the key thing, like, we're all in the anime culture, right? So you're trying to get a waifu. I mean, or maybe you're not into that, but if you are trying to get a waifu, you got to have like more better traits. You not just sleeping in class, not just playing gacha games. You got to be ambitious. You got to, you know, like, oh, he can get things done. He can learn, he knows another language. Productive things like that, more, I don't want to say like ambitious, but like actual skills can help you get a waifu. It's not guaranteed, right? But those skills can help you get a waifu. But episodes 1 through 3 of Alya Has Her Feelings in Russians, really good so far. I again, the main thing that got me hooked is the childhood friend that's back in the picture. And I'm curious to know who he's going to choose. I'm pretty sure I already know, but I think this just makes for a really, really interesting dynamic, especially because her and Alya are friends. I mean, you got to have the chicks fight over the dude. But that's my review of episodes 1 to 3. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Next series of videos, I will have some of my convention appearances on vlogs, so you can see what I do. Of course, my name is MAS. I am a content creator and I have my own manga as well, Sense the Evil. So I'll have some of those videos up so you can kind of see stuff in real time. So it'll be a mix of Alya videos and convention videos. So stay tuned. I'm out. Yo, it's your man MAS. I'm back with another one. More Alya Hides Her True Feelings in Russian, all right? So more episodes or more reviews on those episodes, right? This time around, we're covering episodes 4 through 6, kind of doing it in 3 episode spurts. I know it's only licensed for like 12 episodes for now. If it's more, my bad, but no, definitely like a really good anime so far, all right? But this time around, we're talking about pretty much the lie that anime gives versus the reality. Meaning, you have to be, I won't say you have to be a Chad, right? But like, women like ambitious, fit guys, right? Contrary to what you see in some anime, well, anime actually portrays it pretty well, where it's like, you know, I don't think I've seen an anime where the main character was unfit, like the president of the club or the student council. It's like, oh, I joined the student council for the wrong reasons, right? He told Kazuo, he was like, what do you mean? It's like I did it for a girl, I did it for a shorty, right? And he was out of shape. And apparently the girl liked him and gave him a chance, right? We didn't see that part. How come in anime we never see that part, right? But apparently he's like, yeah, I used to be out of shape, I wasn't ambitious, you know, I joined student council for the wrong reasons, but you know, this girl motivated me to do better. She still went out with me, and then I lost weight and started to catering to people, and you know, the whole Cinderella story male version, right? Cool. The thing about it is the anime never shows that segment, right? I don't think I've ever seen a romance anime, and I'm a huge romance anime buff, right? Where the guy was out of shape, you know, in his room eating Cheetos, and he got himself a hottie. I've never seen an anime centered around that. There may have been anime centered around that where it's like, hey, guy likes girl doesn't necessarily like guy, but I've never seen an actual romance anime story-wise where the guy stayed like that, right? Like he stayed out of shape, he stayed not ambitious, and him chasing a girl and him getting the girl. Never happens. Never happens in anime. I won't say it definitely happens in real life, but it's very rare like it's depicted in anime, right? And that's because, like with anime, like in real life, women like ambitious guys, right? You don't have to be the fittest person, right? You don't have to be a Chad or, a Greek god, but you gotta be decent and you gotta be at least doing something for yourself. Or like, hey, like this person is aspiring to, I don't know, create a business or doing something for the students, like stuff like that, or have some kind of special skill. You know how these animes go, like, hey, I have a secret skill in this world and now I'm the shit, right? So something like that. You can't just be yourself and be like that. You can't just be yourself and be overweight, play games, be a shut in. You can't do it. Society has pretty much crapped on people like that. Anime is pretty much crapped on people like that. You're not gonna get a waifu like that, right? So same thing with Kazu, which was what I was talking about in my previous video. Was like, hey, come to find out, this guy is above and beyond. I don't think he's like the perfect guy, but like he's ambitious, he's smart, he's smarter than he leads on to be. Like he knows how to solve problems, he's very social. Again, despite what he comes off to be, he is quite social. He's aware of the different social dynamics at the school between the baseball team and the soccer team. My man is self-aware, right? You don't see it. Well, you see as you keep watching it, but like my man is self-aware. And Leah don't know. Let me say he knows Russian. She don't know that, but he know that. So he's actually quite the opposite of an underachiever, and I really do think that's one of the main qualities Alya likes about him. It's like, hey, the key thing with her is like he's reliable. You see her side story, it's like, hey, like I don't like relying on people. She doesn't like relying on these dudes who ain't good for nothing. All right, like she I don't trust it. Right, so she fends for herself, and she's looking for a man that she can rely on, essentially, like because she's so used to relying on herself. And Kazu happens to be that guy, all right? And that's just the fairy tale of, not even a fairy tale, but like, don't be fooled by what you see on these animes per se. Don't be fooled by what you see on social media in terms of like, be yourself. No, no, all right? Do not be yourself. Maybe the better word is you need to be a better version of yourself. You need to be aspiring for something. You need to be healthy. You need to be doing productive things. Not trying to say video games aren't productive, because I love video games as well. I play all the time, but like you can't like just play video games and neglect work, neglect your friends, neglect, like that's where there's no balance, right? So ambitious isn't just having balance, but it's like aspiring for something. So I believe that's what women love. That's what Alya loves about Kazu. That's what the president's girlfriend, who I've yet to see, loves about him. He lost the weight, did it, right? Something that I found crazy, which was really insightful with the show, is like, hey, like, it doesn't matter how you get into student council. It doesn't matter, right? All that matters is that once you're in the position, you do something useful. I thought that was really dope. I feel like a lot of people feel like, holier than thou, like, hey, like, you shouldn't be running for the wrong reasons. Then they brought up a great point, like, hey, then half of us shouldn't be doing what we're doing anyway, because half of us got into it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm big into fitness, right? But when I initially got into fitness, it was for the wrong reasons, all right? It was for the shorties. It was for the ladies. It was for the senoritas, all right? That's for me. That's why I got into fitness, right? And it worked, right? Just put it out there. It worked for me. I don't know if it's going to work for you, but it worked for me. But as time progressed, it kind of became a habit. So it wasn't really for other people anymore. It's more so for me. So that just goes to tell, like, hey, like, how you get into something doesn't have to define you. Like, oh, like, he's only in it for the money, or he's only in it for the ladies. He's not really about that life. True, but you can grow to then be about that life, all right? So that's just in regards to the student council aspect, and I really do think it applies to a lot of things in life. You could learn a lot of life lessons from this Japanese Russian show, whatever, if it's Japanese or Russian, a lot of life lessons, right? Same thing in regards to another point that I want to touch on is the love interest, right? Because Kazu is so ambitious, the ladies are just falling That's my definition of falling. They're falling, right? So him not knowing, I'm pretty sure that's her. If I'm wrong, I don't care, but I'm pretty sure that's her. That's his, childhood crush. The whole reason he learned Russian for a girl, go figure, right? And he doesn't know that's her, but I think she's figured out that that's him. And I don't know what's with these people and keeping secrets, right? Like, they want to build up the suspense. I know it's a show or a story, so they're trying to build up the suspense. But I'm like, yo, like, I ain't trying to waste time. Like, for me, it's like, Alya, like, listen, I know what you're saying. You saying you love me. I'll just call her out right there in the spot. Like, you love me. Stop BSing. What we doing? Right? But same thing with his high school, childhood crush. Like, I think she knows it's him, but she's not gonna reveal it. So it's just like, all right, like, I won't say playing a game, but like, it's cute, but it's just like, oh yeah, I think that's him. I can see why, Alya likes him. It's just like, but yeah, no, I'm curious to know how he reacts when he finally realizes that that's her. Who is he going to choose? Is he going to choose Alya, or is he going to choose the woman that he learned Russian to begin with for? Right? Is he going to choose her? All right. The latter will say he's going to choose Alya because she's the star of the show, and it's messed up. All right, it's not realistic. It'll probably be more realistic if they don't end up together. If Kuze and Alya don't end up together, that would be like the most realistic thing I've ever seen in an anime. But chances are, she's the main character, he's the main character. They have to end up together. Otherwise, why are they being promoted on the flyer of the show, right? They almost have to end up together. But all of this is to say, women love ambitious guys. The childhood friend or crush liked Kuze because of how ambitious he was, with everything that was going on with his family and him learning Russian. Alya likes him because he's reliable, all right? Gotta do something in your life. Same thing with the president. Women like ambitious guys. If you don't hear from me, you're gonna hear from the streets, all right? Meaning the ladies will let you know what they like, and that's what they like, right? But that's my overall review of episodes, 4 through 6. Still a really dope show. It's definitely emphasizing the romance aspects of an anime, but I will have more content to come in regards to episodes 7, 8, 9. All right, but it's your man MAS. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, I have a comic series called Citizen Evil. Check me out in the description, and I'm out.
それ以外の候補と手を組むなんてふざけていると思われても無理はないよ。
そんなこと、私がクゼ君と。
Yo, it's your man MAS, back with more Alya or Alya, however you say her name, Hides Her Feelings in Russian. All right, just a heads up, I kind of did this in the reverse order. I mixed up some of the episodes, so in the next video, I think I talk about episodes. This video is episodes 7, 8, 9, right? But I think I mixed up 7, 8, 9 with 9, 10, 11. However you view it. Pretty much this is the next set of videos after episode 6, essentially. All right. And this time around, we're talking about Kuze and pretty much his major flaw. All right. The series has been solid. It's been a solid romantic comedy, right? You can't deny the touch of Russian aspiration to it, which I thought was really cool. I don't think I've ever seen an anime do it, except for, with like American influence, where it's like, oh, like this character can also speak American, which I don't think is really unique. I've seen that in several anime, but Russian, that's new. But essentially, after episode 6, we learn about Kazu's family dynamics. All right, we learn a bit more. All right, he's not just a slacker. There's so much more than what they showed from episode 6 up. Right, from episodes 1 through episode 6, it definitely paints a picture of how the show is at first. Where it's like, okay, it's your typical rom-com, the underachiever, the really pretty girl. The only difference was, the really pretty girl actually really likes the underachiever guy. Most times it's, most times it is like that, where it's like the girl likes the guy, but this time around, I think Kazu also likes Alya, but for some reason he's hiding the fact that he knows Russian to not embarrass her, maybe? I don't know. But if I was him, I would have like, listen, I know Russian, I know what you're saying, you want me. Alright? I would have been just straight like that, right? But you know, to each his own. He don't wanna, I guess he wants to wait till the time is right. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know, but pretty much episodes 1 through 6 fool you. Episode 7, 8, 9, just in terms of the family dynamic, it's way more complex, which makes sense. The more you get to watch anime, it kind of becomes more, I won't say like diluted, but the complexity starts to come to the picture. So Kazu is not an underachiever. He's a fucking genius. His family's rich, and that's not really his sister, right? The one that's just shooing for student council, that's not really his sister. Go figure, right? Because the way she was flirting with him, I've seen anime, I've seen harems, right? Where it's like all the girls love this guy, even the girls that are somewhat related still love this guy, right? Again, one of my favorite animes of all time is Tenchi Muyo, right? That was like the godfather of that kind of genre. And again, it's like, man, like I want some hotties to like me like that. You know, it don't work like that in real life. Well, for some people, I'm not blessed like that, but you know, it was that situation happening where, again, I know I've seen that in other anime, but it's always kind of weird to me. I'm like, yo, like, why do you like creators always make like the siblings, like especially the female siblings, if they're fixated with that one guy character, it's like, oh my god, Oni-san, you know, like, you know, just overly to the point that it can be kind of borderline creepy. It's like, bro, is this not incest, or just like you guys are kind of crossing that line? But it makes a lot more sense now because they're not really related, I think. Keep in mind, I did not finish the entire series. Like, I think there's still episodes coming out. So I think she's Kazu's stepsister. Like, definitively. I don't think they have the same mom or the same, I think like they remarried. Like, their parents remarried, and that's how she came into the picture. And I guess maybe she was the golden child at one point. But then Kazu is just that guy that, like, the underachiever who's gifted with everything, but you know, I think his grandpa is like, yo, don't be disrespecting my family name, right? You're an underachiever, you're blessed with all this intellect and don't do nothing with it, right? And they literally changed the dynamic of like, all right, well, this isn't just a typical rom-com. There is some depth in terms of like family drama, because you know what we watch for that drama. I don't watch the whole get along, you know, everybody's kumbaya. Like, no, we watch for the drama. You can say what you want, but when I watch anime, when I watch these telenovelas, when I watch these K-dramas, it's literally in the title, I watch for the drama. So the romance between him and Alya, that's all cool and all, but like, I needed some more dynamics to the drama, and they brought that, and I was like, this is solid. This is solid. So apparently Kazu again is the golden child, and his sister's kind of highlighting that to Ayo. I guess like that's like their dedicated maid, who's like a ninja-esque, you know, obedient sub type of character. And you know, like, I guess Kazu is a good brother and normally supported her, you know, in her running, but this time around again, you know, technically he got feelings for Alya. He's not gonna admit it. It's like, oh, I'm just running because I want to and because you like Shorty, but it's cool. It's cool. He's hiding his feelings however way he wants to do it. Like, she's hiding her feelings in Russian and he's hiding his feelings in ignorance, basically. But like, he is so gifted that technically if he wanted student council president position, he could have gotten it. He could have gotten it. But like, he plays dumb, and he explains it in one of the episodes where it's like, if I play dumb, people don't expect things of me, which is a sign of a fucking genius, right? It's like the Kanye, I'm not gonna call him Kanye, but it's like, they're doing things purposefully. I don't think he's doing things purposefully, Kanye that is, but whole different subject for another day. And that, you know, his sister's aware of it, And the fact that now he's pairing up with Alya, she's curious to see if she can essentially dethrone him in terms of like, let's see if Oni-san can like meet these expectations essentially. You know, like if he can beat me, because apparently she's a shoo-in. I don't quite know why she's a shoo-in. I'm pretty sure they talk about it in the manga, but in the anime, like the only reason they give that she's a shoo-in is just because she's like the most liked in the school, and I guess like she's ran for positions before. But like I don't see any like policies or anything like that. I'm talking like as a presidential debate. Like what makes her a shoo-in besides the fact that she's just popular? To each his own. And there was the episode when Shorty called out Kazu, you know, the girl with the glasses, and then she got embarrassed. That also happened, right? But no, it's an interesting dynamic. I'm curious about the dynamic between Kazu and his grandpa, exactly why they have that issue, and exactly where does Kazu's mom come into the picture. Like the mom, the dad, I think the mom that remarried is on Kazu's side. So I don't think his sister is related to the mom. I think the sister is probably related to the father, which I have not seen the father. Hated when they do this. Like, hey, no, like daddy issues, no father in these animes' lives. Like nah, they keep disrespecting men like that. Like come on. Like most animes do it well, but like in this one, like I'm like, yo, where's the dad? Like what, the grandpa? You gotta be the grandpa, it can't be the dad. But no, the grandpa, he's stern with it, you know? It's like, yo, this is my legacy, and you disrespected me by not trying hard. Which I will assume every parent feels. It's like, I won't feel like you're disrespecting me, but like you're clearly not trying your best, and I'm disappointed that you're not trying your best. That's how it will feel essentially. But you know, some people take it to the extreme. You disrespected me by not trying your best. That's the grandpa giving it straight like that. And it's like, yo, the grandpa talked to his sisters like, listen, he underachiever. You better destroy him, right? Destroy him in the debate. And again, I don't know why in this anime, I don't think it's like this with other schools. Student council is like the end all be all in this anime. It's like, if you're in student council, you're like the jock of a football team, essentially. It's like the equivalent. Like the student council is the shit at this school. And that's what is happening, where it's like, yo, you better beat him. The grandpa's telling the door, you better beat him, and you better carry our legacy name and put him to shambles. And they're like in the same family. So I'm just like, okay, I need to know more about why it's like that, you know? But I mean, that's essentially like the flaw with Kazu. Is like, all right, well, he's not like this for no reason. There is a reason, all right? I'm assuming they're going to dive into the reason more, but he is not the character that was portrayed episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is not. Now, from episode 7, there's so much more dynamics to it that like, the flaw is like, he's not really being himself. All right. You can kind of tell he even has these perping Alya for like the debate. Like, I feel like that's glimpses of his true self. And I mean, that's the flaw. I would consider a flaw. Like, yo, just be free, be yourself, you know, like what, don't try to be something that you're not. Like if he's not truly an underachiever, why is he trying so hard to be an underachiever? Especially because like other students really like him. But that's the thing. Again, the order's probably messed up by episodes. So in the next video, you're probably going to hear me talking about whatever episode I'm talking about. But pretty much this video is touching on episodes 7, 8, 9. All right. But it's your man MAS. I'm out.
Masachika kun. Ni padai duham. 喜んで。
Yo. It's your man MAS. Back with another Alicia, or however you say her name, hides her feelings in Russian. Alright. Pretty much the closing episodes. Alright, we're talking about episodes 10, 11, 12, I believe. Pretty much from 10 till ending. Alright. And pretty much if you've already saw the title, it sucked, right? It was bad. In my opinion, it sucked ass. All right. Nothing got answered. Nothing got answered. And here's the thing. I hate when animes do this. We're just gonna jump right into it because I got a lot of opinions. I hate when animes do this, where it's like, I get it. Like maybe the book is ongoing, so there's so much content that they can't cover, or maybe like they covered as much content as they could in regards to how far the book has gone versus the anime. So, but most times with these animes, it's like there's so many questions we have answered. The easiest thing I could put, or the easiest comparison, is like Tenchi Muyo, or like a regular Harlem, where it's like one guy, multiple girls love this guy. This guy has to choose one girl, right? And we're like, all right, like the season's almost over. This is the last episode. Which girl is Tenchi finally gonna pick? Is he gonna pick Ryoko? Is he gonna pick Ayaka? Or like, like these Harlems where it's like you want to see how it ends officially. All right, like what girl is he gonna pick? And then the anime is like, oh well, no, he picks no girl. He just chooses to live the way he's living, and that's the episode. Like that is a pet peeve. I cannot stand that. Like make a decision. Just make a decision. So pretty much like those animes where it's like the ending is so ambiguous, it's so vague, where it's like, oh no, they're just gonna keep living how they're living. No sense of closure, no sense of like, maybe the word is progress, no sense of actual progress, or it's like, oh no, like yeah, all these girls are flaunting over Tenchi, but he does eventually choose who he wants to commit to. He does eventually choose who he wants to be his wife, like he chooses the one he likes the most. It's so vague where it's like, oh no, he likes everybody, so he's just gonna have multiple wives. Like that's just an example. Pretty much where animes don't have actual closure. So how this connects to the Russian show, like none of my questions got answered, my bad. None of my questions got answered. And that is frustrating, right? I feel like, or at least I think I said it in a previous video, the hope was, because I was like, it's only 12 episodes and they added so many elements to the show. There's so many mysteries. There's so many like, all right, what causes family dynamic? All right, well, does he finally tell Alya or Alicia that he understands Russian? Does he finally figure out that Alicia's sister is probably the girl that he went about trying to learn Russian to begin with? The student counselor, who actually won it? Like, there's so many questions that we wanted answered. They don't answer anything. See, episode 12 ends and you don't learn anything, all right? The only thing you learned is he probably bested his stepsister in the debate, but that's not even finalized. Like nothing is finalized. You don't even know that. Why? Because they don't say anything. She just alludes to, all right, they got the best of me, but it does actually say that Alya or Alicia won the Congress, the closing statements. It doesn't say that, all right? Very frustrating, very annoying. And again, I hate when anime does that, right? I felt like the way it should have ended was they should have answered at least like one of the questions, right? There's so many questions. They could at least answer one of them where I was like, all right, like maybe at least at bare minimum, because the closing statements happen, who won? Like definitively, just who won? Not an assumption, because that's how it made us, at least that's how it made me feel. It's like, all right, like it makes us assume Alya won because, she hit you with that Russian. And then like she talked about why she wanted to run. And it was engaging, it was innovative, yada, yada, yada. And the stepsister was like, the stepsister pretty much implied that she lost. But that doesn't mean that she actually lost. Like really think about it. It doesn't mean that she actually lost. And I feel like at bare minimum, they could have at least answered that. They ended the season where it was like, well, we should probably prepare for more student congress stuff during the summer break. I can't make this up. It's like, it just left me feeling so unsatisfied. Now I'm like, all right, they just went the route that most animes do. at least like the most like vague ones, and it just sucked ass. Like it's bad. All right, it's bad. Does that mean the entire series as a whole is bad? No. The entire series as a whole, in my opinion, is above average for romance animes. It's definitely not the mundane thing that you typically say. So if somebody asked me, hey, would you recommend watching this romantic comedy anime? I would say yes, because it's above average. But I will be honest and be like, hey, the ending sucks. So if you expect to watch this anime and have any of your questions answered towards the end, none of them will be answered. None of them. All right. So you're better off just waiting till season 2. If they get a season 2, I'm assuming they will get a season 2, but you're just better off waiting for season 2 for some of your answers or some of your questions to be answered. Because season 1, they don't answer nothing. All right, Kuze and Alya are just rocking. All right, so nothing gets answered. Nothing. No. So, but does that make the show a bad show? Absolutely not. Every show has its pros and its cons, right? So far, like the show has been, in my opinion, it's been excellent. I don't think it's been exceptional, but for the genre that it's in, I feel like it's innovative. It made you ask a lot of questions. It definitely had that twist where Kuze isn't underachiever, he's actually a fucking genius. Like there's so many dynamics to the show that makes it really, really good. The only, I guess maybe like gripe I would say about the show at this point is like the ending sucked. But it definitely insinuates there will be more seasons. All right. So the ending sucked. The ending leaves you very unsatisfied. All right. But it makes you look forward to the future. It was like, all right, maybe they'll answer some of my questions and later down. And again, I don't want to criticize like the people who made the anime or the production crew, whatever. A lot of times it's not the anime's fault. It's not the creator's fault. Like it's not really the fault of the anime. There's only so much content they could cram in 12 episodes. Think about it. Like a certain anime are licensed for a number of episodes, right? So not everybody is blessed. Back in the day, now it's different, but back in the day, when anime came out, it was always at minimum like 24 episodes, right? Which is always satisfying to most viewers. So it's like, all right, they can kind of 12-12, cram it into one season. Amazing. You would be blessed as an anime creator if you were given 2 seasons of 24 episodes. That's a blessing, all right? Back in the day, things were so much better, in my opinion. It's just like, you just got more for your buck. Nowadays, it's not the case. I think it happened with Zom 100. Most of these animes are just getting 12 episodes. They're not extending it. They might break it into another season, but it's almost like, hey, here's the 12 episode trial, 12 episode trial, 12 episode trial. Where back in the day, I feel like most animes were getting 24 episode trials. Like a trial period, but it's 24 episodes. More bang for your buck. Versus 12 episodes. I feel like now, because probably the market is like really saturated, where it's like, all right, we don't know if this anime is going to do well or not do well. Here's 12 episodes. Let's see how it does. And if it does well, we'll continue for another season. If it doesn't, boom, ends at 12 episodes. You are left feeling unsatisfied as a human being, because there are some animes that are 12 episodes and I felt was really, really good. You probably felt it was really, really good, but maybe it wasn't viewed properly by the general population. So it's like, you're not gonna continue it, and it leaves a lot of people, including me, like it just leaves you really unsatisfied, because like, 12 episodes isn't enough. So that's just to say that maybe this anime suffers from that, where it's like it was only licensed for 12, and if it does well, it'll get another season. If it doesn't do well, tough luck, read the book. All right, and we don't read around here, so it's strictly anime, except for my manga/anime. We read that. All right, hopefully you guys read that. We read that, but everything else we don't read. All right, we watch anime. I love anime. I can't stop watching it. But that's the only gripe I have of the season. If I had to grade it, in terms of romance anime, I would give it an honest like B+. It really is above average. It's not your typical stuff that you see. B+, but the ending will leave you very, very unsatisfied. That is this man's opinion. But I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. I'm definitely looking forward to having some of my questions answered. And if they don't answer anything in season 2, if Alya does at least know that he learns Russian, they're probably gonna leave that to the very end. or they're probably gonna live knowing he's probably gonna keep that to himself until forever. I hate that, but I mean that's the review of the season in general. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.
すげえ、マジで街行く人が振り返る。
何？
いや、なんかめっちゃ。
Yo, yo, yo. It's your man MAS. Back with more content. Back with more Alya or Alya hides her feelings in Russian. Alright. This time around we're doing episodes 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. And you know your boy had to freshen up, so but we're just gonna jump right into it, right? Video. Kazu's a player. Alright. I've changed my opinion. Alright. I don't think he's an underachiever. I think he's a full-blown player, right? Episodes 8 through 10 will change your outlook. I promise you, my boy, it will change your outlook, right? These chicks, I mean, it happens in most Harlems, but these chicks are falling left and right for Kazu. Even his own damn sister, right? Well, I guess fake sister is falling for this guy, right? I don't think it's unusual with Harlems. Just they really sold me. They really sold me. I thought Kazu was your typical. I thought I could relate to him, right? Like I was like, all right, like, you know, he plays gacha games. I like gacha games. All right, I love Genshin and Wuthering Waves. Like I love those games. Sleeping in class, I do that too. I'm like, yo, this is my boy. This is my man's. And then when all the chicks start flocking to him, like I can't relate to him. I can't. Why can't I have that too? Like they're not flocking to me. Should I pretend to be an underachiever too so they could flock to me? Like no, Kazu's a player. He's a player, man. In regards to like the last series of episodes, student council. All right, apparently student council is like the big thing at this school. You know, like these big college towns, or like, you know, like the big three, those big, I won't say football teams or like basketball teams college wise, and like they're so big, they're bigger than the state, they're bigger than the city. That's what student council is for this anime. I feel like this is like probably the first anime that I've seen where student council is a thing, right? Student council is like the end all be all at the school. And if you're not a student council, you know, you're whack. You know, you're nobody, right? Everybody knows the people at student council, and they take that thing serious, right? So I mean, that was interesting. You know, I think it's really cool because I feel like student council is a thing in a lot of schools and areas, and it's a big deal. I feel like you can make a lot of change in your community. I just don't really think it's emphasized in media and in television shows, really. Besides things like Gossip Girl and stuff like that. Maybe not even Gossip Girl, but student council is a really cool thing to participate. So if you're in a school and you're debating getting on student council or joining a sport, definitely check out student council. You can make a lot of change. You'll learn a lot of leadership skills. I did student council. I learned a lot about myself and planning and the change I can make and budgeting. Like it just made me a more responsible person. Right, but to each his own. But student council in this school is ruthless. Right? Apparently they're calling people out. I think I forgot her name. Tamiya, I'm butchering the names, but the girl with the glasses that, you know, called him a slacker, called Kazu a slacker. She don't know that he's a mastermind. And she's probably falling for him too, low key. Just like, yo, why can't I have that too? But pretty much she's calling him out like a declaration of like a duel, right? But this is, again, in this world, student council is pretty much like a duel. So it's like, I challenge you to a debate because you ain't shit. That's what basically happened. And Ellie is a foreigner, so you guys don't deserve to be running, right? And she tried to put her foot down. And the comparison to that is, like I said, it's like, I challenge you to like a duel or a one-on-one basketball match, 1v1. So this is pretty much like their tournament arc, If you have to be honest, you know, in anime there's a tournament arc. The student council Congress, I think that's what it's called, Congress, the debate, that was pretty much like their tournament arc. It's like, hey, one-on-one, I'm gonna beat you down with words. That's basically what she was trying to do. And she was doing a really good job. But then, you know, Kazu told Leah, you know, keep calm, you know, your boyfriend's here, she don't know that, but keep calm, just be yourself. And I mean, Leah's smart enough to like hold her own, right? But apparently Kazu's a mastermind. He is a mastermind. He knows what he's doing. He's intentionally being dumb. He literally says it in one of the episodes, like, I don't want attention on me, so I purposely be dumb. And, you know, he, like, the minute he needs to be on, mastermind. Everybody falls for him. I think that's what his sister was kind of alluding to too, like, yo, he has a lot of talent, but, you know, I want to be able to beat my brother or whatever. Mastermind, right? And he pretty much got everybody to turn on the glasses girl, and she left. She forfeited. You know, she couldn't handle the heat. He was just too much of a hottie, and you know, Alya felt bad afterwards. People were talking shit. That's going to happen if you lose a debate. I'm telling you right now, in the real life, if you lose the debate, people are going to talk shit. It happens in politics now. You lose a debate, people will talk crap. Right? With Joe Biden and Trump, people talk crap. All right, it's probably going to be the same thing with Kamala, but I'm not sure if they're even going to have a debate, like another debate. But each his own. She lost the debate. Alya felt bad, and she's like, "Yeah, like, can we do something? I don't want her to feel bad." That's typical anime things. Like, they're very on the kind side. So yeah. So I think they spread like another rumor. Oh, they have plans in the audience, so they try to do. It was definitely like a thing. Like this, like these last couple episodes was definitely like a thing in terms of how much Kazu is like self-aware, how much people put effort into student councils in these debates, putting plants in the audience, and then trying to come up with another rumor. It was definitely like a thing. I was like, yo, like I don't think I've ever put this much effort into student council in my life. I was trying to make change, but not like putting plants in the audience. But you know, and she did the right thing, and yeah. I mean, they're still a duo. You also learn a little bit more about Kazu's personal life in these last few episodes. So basically, like, again, you learn that Kazu's a genius. You know, half parents, sister or his stepsister is pretty much the one that's supposed to be carrying the family name. And Kazu doesn't really respect the name, supposedly, and the grandfather kind of disowns him. And then there was like a little bit of tension towards that last episode, episode 10, where I believe that's his mom. Maybe it's not his mom, but he started gritting his teeth. And I'm like, oh, Kazu don't like this. Don't like this person. Right? He started. I'm doing it bad, but that last episode where he saw the woman and he saw his stepsister, so it was like, damn, bro, what she do to you? Like, did she smack you up or something? Like, that's how it felt. That's how it felt. But you know, I'm assuming they're going to dive more into his family drama. But the way the season's looking, because it's only licensed for a certain number of episodes, I don't think they're going to be able to cover everything. Because I thought, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a great sign that there is going to be a season 2 of Leah Hides Her Feelings in Russian. That's how I know he's a mastermind. He knows how to speak Russian, but he's purposely not letting on. Like, man, Kazu ain't crap. Kazu ain't shit. He's a player. He's a Japanese player. They exist, all right? And they're called him. They're the Kazus. But I feel like there's like a great sign that more content is going to come. There's so many things to cover in this anime that there's no way they can give a satisfying ending. Like, you know, there's going to be season 2, but you know how like with most anime that are licensed for that many episodes, that they try to give like the 12th episode or the last episode of the season like some kind of closure with a little bit of a teaser to the next season. I don't think that's possible because there's so much dynamics in this anime. There's no way, like, all right, Kazu's family dynamic life, right? Kazu finally revealing to Leah that he knows how to speak Russian. The the student council debating whether Alya is going to win. The reason why he learned Russian to begin with. And I feel like that chick is Alya's older sister. That's what I think. There's just so much things to unpack that there's no way they can do that in 12 episodes. And if they do that in 12 episodes, they're going to be rushing. And I'd rather they not rush. I'd rather, like, just put a moderate cliffhanger. My assumption is that they're probably going to end the season like episode 12 with, like, I guess, like, the outcome of the closing debates or the closing statements, and then maybe a little bit more tidbit into his family life, and then him and Alya getting closer because they went on a date for his birthday supposedly, but it wasn't a date, whatever. But I mean, that's pretty much episodes 8, 9, 10. Kazu's a player. He ain't shit. I can't relate to him anymore, but I still can't stop watching. So that is my general review. It's your man MAS. I'm out.